Hey, this is Brett. I'm going to work on a kata, and I'm going to use the shunting yard algorithm as my kata of choice for the moment. I've got a little script that makes a TypeScript project so I can work on katas because I've been doing this recently. I've got it on my blog, so if you want the script, it's there. Okay, let's go here. Is this the right project? Yeah, it looks like it is. Make sure it works here. Reopen that project. There we go. Okay, I can run it there. Let's make sure it works here. Good. Okay, so I can run my tests. Now, I don't need this. This was just template code to have a complete project. So now I'll create my first test. Now, this is the first test. I haven't shown this, but I've got a web page with these. This is the shunting yard algorithm itself. It's over here on Wikipedia. And these are some test cases. So I'm going to go ahead and use the empty string test case. I'm going to skip the null test case just because I'm not going to allow for nulls. And then I'll do 45. And so I'm going to use these as my test cases. Since I've done this recently, I've got them kind of memorized. So I'm not going to spend too much time looking at that page initially. Okay, I've got a failing test. So by the rules of TDD, I'm going to go ahead and create that function to make it pass top level. I'm just going to put it here for now. I will eventually move it into its own file, but it doesn't really matter where it is at the start. Now it's going to yeah, beautiful. Returned undefined, even better. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll just, and let's see if that passes. Beautiful. There's the first version. Okay. Okay. Now the next one is something along the lines of, again, it was just like a number, like 45. But since I'm going to be doing this over and over again, I'm going to go ahead and start by doing a simple collection of test cases. So this is going to be a duplicate of the one I just did. Okay, so what I've got is it returns, let's see, returns what? Okay, good. Now I could just put those variables in, but I liked having variables. So now I expect this to actually pass both of these. Okay, and I'll make sure it looks okay down here. Returns given. Okay, oh, that's probably going to be better if I were to, I don't know, put quotation marks around it so I can actually see both values. Try that again. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now out of habit, I run them in the IDE for speed. I run them at the shell before doing a commit. Actually, I'm going to do this. That's a replacement of that. There we go. Okay, so now the next case was like, I think 45. So 45, given the way that's implemented, I think that's going to work. Let's see. Another one was plus, I believe. It doesn't really matter, but some kind of operator also is going to pass, I think, by default because of the current. Yep. And then finally, just because I like variables, I'm going to allow for a variable. Oops. And then helps if I have both variables. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so now the next test case is actually an expression. So 3, 8 becomes 3, 8 plus. There, 3 plus 8 becomes 3, 8 plus. Now, a couple things. This is test first as opposed to test driven. What I mean by that is I've got an algorithm. I'm not coming up with the algorithm. I'm not discovering the algorithm. Here is the algorithm. While there are tokens, read a token. If it's a number, do this. If it's a function, do this. If it's an operator, do this. All right, we're dealing with numbers and function or operators right now. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and handle that and go from there. And I'm going to use this example code as a way to implement it. So I might be doing bigger steps than you might expect for test driven, but given that I'm implementing an algorithm and testing that I've converted the pseudocode into proper TypeScript, I'm totally fine with what I'm doing. You know, your results may vary, some assembly required. So first expression, 3 plus 8 becomes 3, 8 plus. And if any of you have ever used a reverse Polish notation calculator, like an HP calculator, not one of the business, that's what this is doing. It's converting it. Now, if I were to look at the algorithm says if it's a number, put it in the output queue. All right. If it's an operator, there's just going to be one operator, put it on the operator stack. We're doing this. We're going to do this eventually through tests, but we're just doing this part. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the code. Here's the code. So it said output queue. And just for purpose, that's an array of string. Yeah, that's good. Love it. So I guess I'll do expression split on space. For now, this is fine. All right, so let's see. If number of token. So if it's a number, that should check for number. I'll put output queue dot push token. For now, we just have these two cases. So that'll put it there. And then once I'm done dealing with each of the tokens, I guess I'll do operator queue dot actually no, let's see. While operator queue. Is there an empty? No, let's do then. No, output queue dot push operator queue dot pop. And then return output queue dot join on spaces. That should do it, I think. String or undefined. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, yes. Pop. Okay, I'm checking the length of the operator queue, so this is definitely a guaranteed thing. So I'll go ahead and do this. Excellent. That's working. All right. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and move these into a separate file. So let's see that into its own file. Beauty. Should still work. Cool. Okay. Okay, so now I've got a basic expression. Let's look at the next expression in the list. So 3, 8 plus. So now I'm going to do multiple expressions. Okay, 2 plus 9 minus 6. So 2 plus 9 minus 6. And this should be 2, 9 plus 6 minus, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, good. Now this isn't going to work. So if I go back to the algorithm, what it says is while there's an operator at the top of their operator stack, which is what we have, which is not left parentheses. We're not dealing with parentheses yet. And it has greater precedence than O1, or they're the same and left associative. Okay, well, I understand all that. Operators like plus, minus, times, multiplier, left associative. Uh, caret is right associative. So this will work. And in fact, it's trivial for what we're doing because right now we haven't done anything on precedence. So actually, I can just do this. So before I do this, I can do, just copy that. I think that'll do it. Yeah, that's good. Now, this is a bit overkill because it's only ever one, but I believe now this will work in pretty much any situation. But you might think, I don't like this duplication. Okay, well, this is going to change a bit. So this one I think is going to be fine, but this one is going to change because this is clearing all the operators after you've done all the token handling, whereas this is I'm dealing with a single token or single operator. What's the previous operators that have come before me? So along those lines, let's go ahead and do a commit. Okay, let's see. Next test is probably one to do with like a multiplier divide. Ah, yep. So 2, 9, 6 times. Cool. So, and this should be 2, 9, 6 times plus because of operator precedence, I believe. And what am I? Oh, right there, missing that. Now let me double check that. 2, 9, 6 times plus 2, 9. Well, might be better if I do that. Okay, so there's a good test right there. And it'll fail, I believe, because of lack of operator precedence. Okay, so now I need precedence. Okay, what I'll do is right now, these strings are just strings. So I guess what I'll do is I'll for now just create a precedent, a series of precedence tables. Okay, so let's see. Okay, new map, and then I'll take an array of tuples. Let's see. Plus is, let's say it's precedence of one. And then minus is also a precedence of one. And I need square brackets around that. And I'm going to want this to be a little bit longer so it's easy to deal with. There we go. Now I've got plus, minus, and times. I'm going to go pull base, so I also need times. What am I doing wrong? What don't you like about this? Sure. Don't think that's necessary. What's going on? I wonder if it's as simple as this. It's a map of, well, right now it's a map of string to number. Percent, that matches. That matches. Let's see. Okay, that's good. And then I'll do a times. I probably had like, I don't know what I did. And that's a higher precedence. There we go. That's good enough for now. So now, yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this really directly and then I'll clean it up. So, and precedence dot get of token is less than or equal to precedence dot get of operator Q sub zero. So the top. Okay, let's see what I'm missing. Missing a paren. Let's go ahead and turn this into one of these. What do we got? Precedence. Oh, right. Okay, so this might be undefined. For right now, for the purpose of test, I'm not going to worry about that. I will eventually fix it. But for right now, I'm going to get rid of the TypeScript error by just doing that. So let's see. If you've got an operator, and if the token, the current token's precedence is less than, no, okay, if the current one is greater than or equal to the precedent, then do that. Okay, let's see if that works. Nope, I got it wrong. There we go. So, okay, now this is a little flaky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a function. Let's see, top level function, because I'm just doing functions right now. I could have done this as a class, but I just didn't. And this is before. Sure. So while you've got something and is before, the token is before the operator queue, what's in the operator queue. Oh, that's interesting. I don't like the way that I'm going to redo this. I'm going to turn these into variables. Op. Let's see, this is current. Oh, actually, this is current token. Nah, current precedence. Wrong, bad name. So this is, I see what I need to do. Token's already a variable. I'm trying to think about the best way to get this to have it do what I want it to do. And this is okay, and I put a bang on that there. That should still work. Shouldn't break anything. Wrong. There we go. Let's try that. Shortcuts be damned. Cool. That works, but I still want to extract this as a function, and this is before token current top. I like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and inline this. I don't want that. There we go. While there's something in the queue and is before token operator queue. I mean, if I wanted to, I could, no, that's fine. That should be sufficient. Okay, so okay, now what's it complaining here? This is app type any. Okay, so let's make that a string. Cool. I prefer to have no. I should probably have linter in there, but I don't, so yet. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to actually I want to fill out a few operators. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. Divide, divide. This should fail. Interesting that it doesn't fail. And it has to do with the fact that I've got an undefined token. Undefined is less than a number. Well, I see why that worked. I'm going to see it fail. Make divide and make it a lower precedent. I want to see it fail. Okay, good. Then I'll make it the same precedence as divide. Again, wrong shortcut key. Cool. All right, now let's see. I'm going to go and look at the test cases. Let's see. Plus, divide. Oh, I've got caret, and caret's a higher precedence. Well, I'll just go ahead and do this one, and that'll get caret in there. Okay, so, and it occurs to me that rather than doing, now I'm going to take it simple for right now. So, add the test. What was the test? 2 times 10 to the 6. Let's go ahead and use that test. 2, 10, 6. And then that happens first, and then that happens last. Okay, this will probably work because, yeah, for the same reason that the other one worked. I don't like that. In fact, I dislike that a lot. So I'm gonna make this fail properly. Okay, so let's see. If that's undefined when it's been higher or equal. Just want to force this to fail, or I could actually, yeah. Okay, so now that always I got rid of that, could, and then precedence of current top. There we go, get rid of that. Does this fail in a nice way? Yes, excellent. I could write a test for that. I just did something without test, but I'm going test first. Okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and not do that right now. And this is a higher precedence, so this should still work. Cool. And how do the test case names look? Looks good. Um, there's not much else I want to do at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. There's still some ugliness here, but I think it's not awful. So now let's see. What's the next test case? I'll go ahead and do this one. I think this is going to just work. Oh, I didn't do a commit. Oh, well. Oh, good. It doesn't. Okay, so now, haha. Now I need to go back to the algorithm because the algorithm says at the top, which is not a left of parentheses. Okay, we're not. If the O2 has a greater precedence, which it does not, or and it's left associative. This is not left associative. This is right associative. Okay. Ah, this is a bigger jump than I wanted to take, but that's fine. Okay, so cool. Okay, beautiful. Now, copy this. Okay, that was 1, 1. I had these as 10 and 10, and this was 15, and true, 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 true. This is false. Okay, so now precedence of. Now I've got that spelled wrong, don't I? Precedence. There we go. Okay, so now is before. If it's less than, okay, okay, so first of all, I'm going to go and change this. If O2 is greater than, so if O2, which is current top, so or actually, so return precedence, or let's see, um, precedence of current top is equal to precedence of token and, boy, this is awful. This is amazing. Boy, I'm really creating quite a mess here. And I'll just do it. Duh, 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 duh. Wait, is it O2 and O1? And O1 is, yeah, so operator O1 and O2 is the top. So current top is O2, token is O1. Dot left associative. And it's not left associative. Boy, this is a mess. Quite an impressive mess. Gotta break this up. Precedence of this and say, or is this matching? This is matching. Or blah, 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 blah. and not precedence of get token, not left associative. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that's good to there. Okay, there. Boy, that was brutal. Brutal, brutal. Is left associative. So is left associative, not. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and get that committed. Now, this is quite a nightmare. I don't like this code at all. So let's do a little bit of cleanup, and then I'm going to stop here just because I'm running out of time for practice at the moment. Let's see. I don't hate the precedence. I don't like the precedence of. I don't like the fact that I'm looking it up multiple times, and I don't like. So what would be the better way to do this? Boy, until it's a little bit more, I'm not sure there's a great way to make it much better. I suppose what I could do, let's experiment here. Let's see. So, okay. And let me double check. And actually, they called it O1 and O2. An operator, O2 is at the top of the stack. So O1, using the same variables as the algorithm for now, I can rename them later. And the O1 is token. O2 is current top. And what am I doing? That's just crazy. I'm not thinking at all. Make sure I'm back to running because I just did something silly. Cool. Should have done a git checkout there. I can extract this. So boom, boom, boom. The current top, let me double check that. Operator on up to the top. O2. So this is O2. So this is a variable called, I'm going to make it a const. And this is operator or O2. And then this is O1. I'm going to do it dot precedence. So if O2, it doesn't know what it is. Okay, fine. That's just a number. Okay, no, 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 no. For now, I'm going back to this. I'm backtracking a little bit. That's fine. Okay, so O precedence, and now this is no longer used. Of course, I've got rid of the, okay, great. See if that's still passing. Okay, but it got rid of a little bit of safety. So this right here, turn this into a method. No, I don't want to use that. Fine. And then, wait, can I do this? Yeah, I didn't think I could do it. Okay, fine. Okay, so it turns back an operator. Beautiful. So I can do, oh, I call that precedence. Boy. So that gives you back my safety. However, does not run my tests. Okay, cool. That is better. It's not great, but it's better. But I want to verify that I actually have what I thought I have. So let's put in a bogus operator, make sure I get a failed test. Should get a thrown exception. Great. So now I actually notice I should have a test for that because I added it, removed it, and I just manually checked it. So that's no longer cool. So I'm going to go ahead and add a test for that. Let's see. Is it expect? Beautiful. Shunting art. And then let's put in a bad operator. That's a bad operator. Uh, okay. Right, because there's, well, why is that actually? I expected the first one to fail, but this one, glad I tested it. Oh, I see. What's going on? Yeah, right, because, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I have to actually have, okay, I'm going to go ahead and directly test the precedence of method rather than doing a quasi integration test. I will check that get operator actually does. Okay, I have to expose that. I don't love that, but I'm going to do it for now. If this were a class, it wouldn't be an issue. Well, I guess it would be. I'd still have a test, private method or something like that. Get operator to throw. Let's see. What about that? There we go. So I've got some simple safety in there. That's an awfully big step. It's awfully sloppy, but I'm going to take it. You got to practice and get better at things. And I'm about out of time anyway. So let's go for this for now. And let's see, this is refactoring. So, okay, I'm gonna stop there. Uh, this again, this is me practicing. I've got an interview coming up, and I just want to make sure I'm not too sloppy. This was pretty sloppy, but you got to break an egg to make an omelet. The best way to practice, the best way to get better is to practice. And if I'm start publishing these things, I'll be a little more conscious, and as a result, I'll probably get better faster. And if not, you'll have fun and laughing at me. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.